What's up, everybody? This is the life of an outlaw on the run. Now, I don't want to say it too loud because the window's open, but I'm in another state. I'm wanted in another state for things that were out of my control. Um, what I will do is tell you about it, and I'll relay the events that led up to it. Um, it's difficult to talk about in certain ways because it's just a touchy subject. All right, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off from the beginning. Right, so I'm gonna start off from the days when I first started getting in trouble. Now, these are the days of my childhood, and I have read a lot. I'm a reader. I read a lot of books, and I read a lot of psychology and just things that have to do with people's mentality, trying to understand myself, what makes my mind tick, and I came to some conclusions that frightened me. You know, things that I used to do when I was a kid, like I used to torture small animals. I don't know why, but I did. It's not something good. It seemed as if I was a sociopath when I was a child. I had no feelings for animals whatsoever. Um, that was a warning sign that people could have seen, but maybe they weren't aware of it at the time. Um, this is in the early 80s when I was growing up. I was born in 77, so I'm 41. So this was in the 80s and in the 90s that I was doing these things, right? Um, so starting off as a kid, I would say 5 years old, I would go to my grandparents' house on the weekend, and my grandfather, he got me a little BB gun, right? So I would spend the whole weekend hunting in the city, hunting, things, animals, anything, cats, dogs, squirrels, birds, any animal that moved. And I would shoot them with my BB gun, chase them, just keep shooting them. I mean, we had pets. We had pets at the house, and I would hurt them. I mean, this is a long time ago. I was a kid. I would hurt them. I even killed one time. Uh, these are the signs of someone who is mentally ill. I'm thinking, right? Maybe not. It's just this. It's just weird things. I don't understand why I did these things as a kid. I also had a major fascination with fire. Yeah, fire was my weakness. Now, as a kid, 5, 6 years old, when I'm doing these things, 7, 8, you couldn't keep matches around me. I started my grandmother's house on fire. I started the house we lived in on fire. My other grandparents, I started a field on fire next to their house. I would just start fires. I was like a little pyromaniac. That was another warning sign no one paid attention to. And these things progressed as I got older. Um, I didn't know how to deal with a lot of things, how to cope with certain situations. I would deal with everything through anger. Uh, it was a very, very interesting childhood. And through those years, up until I was about 8, 9, 10. That's what I did. I started fires and I hurt small animals. And that was the beginning. That was the beginning. That's what started it. So I'll take that up until I was 10 years old. That's what I did. I started fires and I killed small animals. Now from 10 up until about 12 or 13, a lot of different things happened in between that time frame. I'll get back to that on my next video. I want y'all to hear my story because this story is epic. I have lived a life of crime. I've spent over a decade in prison, straight. I was released, and I couldn't believe they released me. And now I'm on the run. For what? I'll get to that. But until then, I'd like y'all to stay tuned. I'd like y'all to hear my story. It's one to be told. Thanks.